Good afternoon, and welcome to Express Yourself Healing Through Art. Hello, Liesl Sahoma. Nice to see you today. Um, it is Sunday afternoon. It is 4 o'clock on the West Coast, and that means it's time for Pearl Manhattan. Today, we are going to finish up the holiday planner that we've been making, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do next week once I get on the other screen. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for spending your time with me, whether it's live or in the replays. Please leave a comment down below if you're watching the replay. Let me know you watched. If you have any questions, comments, anything you'd like to say, there's the comments down there. I love getting comments. I love responding to comments. And I do respond to all the comments I get. But let's go on to the other screen. And first of all, a reminder that my album, Pumpkin Spice Meditations, is coming out September the 30th. It will be available on all the streaming platforms. It's also available on CD from my website, www.pearlmanhattan.com. I thank you for being here. Now let's go ahead and get to the other screen. All right. First things first, though, let me thank The Live Place. Dean at The Live Place is a wonderful gentleman. He hosts over 120 live streamers on topics everything from theme parks, travel, lifestyle, cruising, arts and crafts, music, disabilities, you name it. He's got somebody live streaming it, and it's your TV guide for YouTube, basically, for live streamers. And honestly, since I started using the Live Place, I don't even turn on the TV anymore except to go to my YouTube and watch the wonderful live streamers on the Live Place. I'm happy to say this is one of the broadcasts that is shared on the Live Place. I also have my Wednesday music show. Some days I do composition, some days I do performance of my original stuff. It's you never know what you're going to get there. That's Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. All right, so getting to what we're doing. This is the planner we've been working on. Let me pull my extra stuff out here. And when we finished 2 weeks ago, and I'm sorry I wasn't here last week, I was not doing well. But I'm better. I'm a little better this week. See, I can move my neck now. So anyway, we had just gotten this mostly together. We're going to finish up this little accordion file today and install it into our binder, and then we are going to install a big chunky notepad, a blocky chunky notepad, and a little thing of post-it notes, and we'll install those, and then we're done. And then next week we are going to start on a really fascinating project. I pulled these off the internet. These are high-end Halloween decor and, autumn decor. And we are going to recreate some items from these two photographs with dollar store materials. We're going to do it for pennies on the dollar because this wreath, the wreath that is on the left, that one retails for about $80, and we're going to do it for about $15. And I swear you're going to like ours much better than that. Also, these candlesticks that you see in the picture on the left, we're going to recreate those, and we're going to do them in black. But you'll see when we transition over to our winter holiday, they're going to work just fine. We're just going to add some bows on them, and they will and then change the color of the candles, and they'll transition right into the winter. And then I love this wreath on the right with the witch's legs hanging out and everything. We're going to recreate that wreath first. That's going to be our project next week. And the little pumpkins, and then you see these white vases with the black and orange flowers. We're going to recreate that look too. This is what we'll be doing for the rest of September and into October, creating different items from these two photographs. So I hope you can tune in or catch the replays. It's going to be really fascinating. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So, all of that taken care of, let's get into finishing our project. Let me turn my light so that, whoa. Didn't know you were getting a light show, did you? Let me get my light where I can focus on what I'm doing here. Get some light on the subject. I know I'm getting shadows. I apologize, but soon the channel will have some much better lighting. And I think I need to pull this down a little bit here. There we go. All right, so let's finish working on this. It's going to fit right in here. The bottom of it will be supported because we're going to fix it. We're going to use our double stick tape and fix it to the spine, and then the back will be fixed like this. So it will sit up when you want to use it. You can sit it up just like this. I found this in every pack. You always get a couple pieces. It's upside down. Here we go. You always get a couple pieces that are full page, and they might have something down in the corner. This is going to be perfect for our little file folder here. So I'm going to get my ruler, and I'm going to measure. I'm going to cut out the design and double stick tape it on the front here, and then I'm going to use the other side to make the flap that comes over, and we're going to use some Velcro and hold it together. All right, so with my ruler, this is 6.5 inches to the top line here, and then so we'll need 6.5 inches by, oh, it looks like it's just about 8 inches. Maybe we'll test fit it, and maybe we'll have to shave it down a little bit. So 6.5 by 8. So let's get all of this out of the way real quick. We'll get our paper cutter. And we need our 8 inches to be this part of the paper. It's 8 inches here. Okay, so we'll load that into the cutter, and my hand, I think you can't see it, but my hand is up here. This hand is holding the cutter up. I never leave the cutter without my hand on it when it's open. That way I'm always in control of my cuts. And then this side is 6.5. So we're going to line that up on the 6.5 line. And there we go. Now, this is going to be perfect. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, this is going to be perfect. We could do it that way and it would continue on, and then this is going to be over in the back. And it's going to lap over just like that. Just right about there is where we want it to lap over. So I'm going to take a pencil and draw a line on the inside where I want that to lap over. I can always go back and erase it. Okay, now that's all the cutting we need to do right this minute. Okay, now we want this to lap over the front by that much. So we're going to measure. I've already, remember we scored this last week, so you can see where that is scored, and we scored it at, that is from that line 1.5, actually 1, 2, so there's 1 inch, there's 1/8 2/8, 1 3/8. We're going to get our scoreboard here, and we need 1 3/8 from here, and this one ends up, that's about 7/8. So 3/8 would be 1 2 3, and then an inch from there would take me over to 2 1/4, and that's where I'm going to make my first score. And just so I don't crack the paper, I'm going to score it gently on both sides. There we go. And then this part, I believe, let's measure that and see what that is. This part is 1.5 inches, so we're going to do a score 1.5 inches from here. So that is 3/8. So a 1/2 inch would be 7/8, and then an inch from that would put us at 3 7/8. We're going to do another score. Alrighty then. Okay, and we can go ahead and bend those a little bit. Let's give this a test and see how we work here. Oh, that's gonna work just perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's gonna fit just fine. Okay. Oh my goodness. You know, the challenge is I did not get my double-sided tape. Let me grab some double-sided tape here. Just grab a brand new package. I think I've used up the other package that I had here, so just gonna open up that package. Double-sided tape. And while I'm thinking about it, I'll go ahead and erase this line. But I can still see it. It'll be important when we put our double stick, when we put our Velcro, our sticky Velcro on there, which I will have to find that also. Whoops. I'm not really organized today. Trying to get it all together, folks. It's been a, I know I say this every week, but it's been an interesting week. But we're getting back on track. In news with my son's school, I did have a chance to meet via Zoom call with my son's individual education plan staff, and had a lovely conversation with the speech therapist, the occupational therapists, the classroom teachers, the school psychologist, and I met a person called a transition coordinator. This is the person that coordinates everything for my son from the beginning of high school to after graduation when he's independent and on his own. So I was happy to meet her, and so things are moving. And I'm laying this tape down on the back side and on the top. That's just gonna stick onto here and reinforce it. There we go. And I'm gonna pull this last one and do another one right up to the edge so that we get a good stick there. Right here in that crease. Can't see it. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing back here on the back side, just right on the edge, another row of tape, just because Yeah, and maybe I go overboard on tape, but I like things to stay where they're stuck, if you know what I mean. And I mean, it's Dollar Tree tape, so I can afford to go a little overboard on the tape if I want. It's my project. There are no rules. Remember that with being creative. This is about being creative. This is not about doing what I do or what anybody else on the YouTube does. I mean, if you come up with a way to do something I've done and it's easier for you, or you like it better, or whatever, then please do it that way. I am by no means the authority here. I just like to make stuff. So here is our folder, okay? And I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up right with that fold right there and stick it down and give it a good push all the way. Turn it over, make sure. And that's the good thing about this is it is flexible enough that you can push on it. You're not going to break it, you know, but it is durable and it will hold up. All right, now we have that part. Now let's go ahead and run some tape on our other piece that's going to go on this side. And I'm trying to work quick because I have run out of time in the past working on these because I get carried away talking or whatever. And I want to give you as much information as I can in my hour that I'm here. But I'm really excited about the projects we've got coming up, the Halloween decor and doing the Dollar Tree Halloween decor, the high-end Halloween decor on with Dollar Tree products. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays and I love to decorate up. I'll show you my Halloween decorations I've made in the past too. I'm excited to make the candlesticks. I've got one set that I made last year and they're just clear glass, but I change out the ribbons on them for the different seasons. I have a wreath that I made that is depending on what accessories I put in it. If I put little orange pumpkins, it looks Halloween. It's actually gold and green and purple. But I change out the little accessories like pumpkins, or I'll put some stars or different colored lights, and I can take that wreath all the way from Halloween through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, and then into Mardi Gras, and then into Easter. And I've done the whole holiday season, if you will. I used to be a church choir director, so from September to Easter was, you know, you change out your colors, and there's a color for every season, and I enjoy decorating my house up because, I mean, especially in this time of COVID, why not make your home into something beautiful that you enjoy spending time in? Because I mean, a lot of us are still on lockdown and a lot of us are home 24/7. So why not make your personal space your own? Claim it, dress it up, have fun with it, because, well, I mean, what else are we doing? All right, I've got this all taped on the back with my double stick tape, lining it up on the bottom here and taping it down. Now I went a little bit over, but honestly I can just, because this is mine, I'm the only one gonna use it. If I were giving this as a gift, I would have, or selling it in my Etsy shop, I would have been a little more careful. But I can just take this edge, I'm rolling it over with my fingers into the back. And this side is lined up perfect. Okay, now this is what we have. Oh my gosh, stinking cute. All right, let me find. Here they are. I have these little Velcro dots, and I got them from, yep, you guessed it, the Dollar Tree. They sell these at the Dollar Tree. They are extra sticky. Urgh. They're real sticky. You do not need to add any extra adhesive to them. And so we're gonna take, I stick both sides together onto the plastic. See, there's the male and the female side of the Velcro. And I am just gonna put this about an inch from each side. And then pull off the plastic. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to fold it in half, get those Velcro stick together, peel it off, boom. And then I'm going to stick this one about an inch up from the bottom. And if you notice, you can't really see it, but my faint pencil line that I didn't erase all the way, these fit in that little space. Now I can take my pencil and finish erasing that line all the way. There we go. All right, take, fold, and we're going to fold this over so the Velcro sticks on the other side here. Boom and boom. There's our Velcro. Gently, I'm going to take my pokey tool for the first time because I really smashed that Velcro in there. I use my little pokey tool to go in there and separate the Velcro. And then just take your fingers, go back in. Whoop, I got a wrinkle, but you know what? It doesn't matter because it's mine. Go in here, stab that, stick that down really hard, and there we have my file folder with a lid. Do that. There we go. Now, to put the tape on it, it's going to be easier to lay it flat this way to get the tape on it. And it's going to go right in here. Let me make sure, yep, that's the correct direction. See, there's my pen holder that we did last week, and there's my pen and my pencil. So we're going to put tape where this meets that, and just to test fit it and make sure I've got it in the right place. All right, so I'll probably need about 3 pieces of tape here, and then it's going to go almost all the way to the edge. So here we go. We're almost done with this, folks. It's been a minute, hasn't it? All right, so I'm gonna start right about here. I'm not going all the way to the edge. I'm going about a 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch in, and I'm just going to, if you have wider double-sided tape, that's great. It would probably work easier if you had wider tape. And I'm even going to tape over the fold because this is flexible tape. It will bend with the inside. And I want to point out how you cover up mistakes, because you remember this, it was a little too long and I tried to trim it and it came out funky. It's going to be covered up. The only person going to know it's there is us. And I think it's good to, instead of scrapping something and starting over when you make a mistake, I think it's good to try and fix your mistakes the best you can and be okay with mistakes. That's part of creativity. And this is all about being creative, healing through art. We are learning to accept mistakes and be okay with them. We're learning to, wow, this is a lot of tape, isn't it? But I want to make sure it's stuck, but good. So, here we go. And I do hope everyone's had a very pleasant week, the best of weeks you could have. We're almost done with this year, because the holiday seasons always feel like a marathon, don't they? Let's see, how far is this going to go up now? Where's my folds? Where's my folds? Okay, so right about to here. So this will be my last piece of tape. Alright, let us peel all of our sticky backing up. Here so y'all can see what I'm doing. There we go. All right, the moment of truth. Remember, I said we want this to fit right there on that crease line, and then we just stick it down like that. We're going to open it up. You can use your ruler, you can use whatever. I like to use the ruler because it gets in there and it really pushes it down like that. Okay, you can use a shorter ruler. I like my quilting ruler for many reasons. And then I've just stood it up, and remember, we put the tape in the bottom. So we rolled it up like this, and then I'm just going to take my ruler again and go down in every pocket and kind of smooth that around. And let me switch this over to that so I can see what's going on. There we go. Slide it down inside there. There we go. Look at that. And then we have, here we have it, our little accordion file folder. We'll roll this over. This comes down like this. We'll close it with those little Velcros. And then we put this down. And there's our little file folders right there. And notice that, remember I said they'd fit a lot easier once we got our expanding file folder. Alright, the next thing we want to do, and I'm going to go ahead and stand those up like this, and hopefully it doesn't block the camera too much. We are going to do our chunky notepad. and I'm going to make this permanent. It's going to be fixed in there for good because there's a lot of paper, and I'm not going to make it replaceable because it's for me. And we're going to put it in right about there, and then we're going to make a little container for our post-it notes. All right, this one is going to be very, very easy to do. I'm going to pick out some paper that I like. Let's see, what have I got over here? I've got all sorts of nice little stuff. And this is where I like to use these things. These also come in the paper pack. And so let's see, and if you notice, they are just about the right size. Almost exactly the right size. So, I think I want to use, no, I don't really like the leopardy liony ones. We could do this one, which is the same as our cover, and just kind of tie it all together. Let's do that. So, let's see how this is going to fit. It's going to fit exactly, except maybe, yeah. All right. Then we'll go back. This is the one we're going to use, and we'll cut that in a minute. And then I've got all of these scraps. Oh, from where we were making our file folders, if you remember those. And this we're going to put underneath. It's just going to give us a little more durability for the cover. We're looking really good. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so to make this part, we're going to line it up on the back like that. And we're going to take our little pencil. Where did I put? There it is. My pencil. We're just going to draw a little line like that. And that's going to be our front. And then we'll need to add a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to let it overhang just about to there. Okay. So let's grab, okay, we'll use another scrap in a minute to make our post-it cover. Let's grab our paper cutter. Oh, here we go. And put it on that line, just to the inside of that line. Actually, let's trim it a little closer than that. There we go. And then we're going to do it about like that. Okay. Still overhanging. I'm going to just trim a little bit more off of that edge. I'm going to trim off the pencil mark. That means that I've got it exactly in the right place. And we're going to just flip it over to make sure. There we go. Alright. Now we're going to make some score marks. Let's get our scoreboard back in here. And our first score is going to be at 6 inches. So we're going to score it at 6 inches. And then at 6.5 inches. And then, like I said, keep the paper from cracking. I like to score on both sides and kind of bend the paper, stretch it out a little bit so that we don't crack our paper, because some of the papers will crack easily. This is that more of a plastic type paper, so it doesn't crack as easily, but There we go. Now, this is going to fit on here like this, and then like this, and then like that. Okay. And we're not going to worry about this bottom part because we're going to be covering that up with our other thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our tape through here. Right on that edge. And if you overlap your tape, it's not a big deal. And on this back, we don't need to tape it so much because it will be sandwiched in between the notebook and the binder. Okay. And what I've done, I went over the edge on the tape, so I'm just taking my finger and kind of rolling it back in. And then we want to put some tape down the middle of the part that's going over the top. And then for the inside, we are just going to do this and tape it over the cover of that big block notepad. Just like this. There we go. All right. Peel off all of our little liners for our tape. There we go. And make sure I get those in the trash. Pro tip, always make sure you have a little receptacle to toss your little liner parts into, the little tape things and stuff. It just keeps your work area neat and clean while you're working. All right, there we go. Stuck it down on the back. Now I'm just gonna roll it over like that and push that down, and then I'm gonna roll it over this way and push that down. All right, now let's get our cutting board back and get to this fun little decoration. This is so cute, isn't it? Isn't it? Remember we did our first score at 6 inches? Well, each of these panels is 6 inches high because it's a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So we're going to cut at 6 inches. And then I believe I said it overlaps just the slightest bit. So we'll go right to the inside there and right to the inside there. We actually got a little bit too much on the top, but that's alright. Just even that up. Now let's do a test fit. And I'm going to bring this down. Okay, see, we are, it's a little big, if you notice. You can't really tell, but just on this side right here. So I'm going to take my pencil, do a little line right there. We're back with my guillotine cutter. And trim that little bit off. Okay. Back to my big chunky notebook. we go. And then put your tape on. And I'm just going around the edges for this. We don't need to Mondo tape. You can use glue if you like. I choose to use tape because tape's faster. It's a dry adhesive. A wet adhesive like glue can sometimes, if it's got too high of a water content, which a lot of glue does, it could warp or wrinkle your paper. All right, and then we want to cover up. I had a little bit of the original cover showing down here. We want to cover that up. And there you go. That. There's my little notebook. Okay. Then, same procedure that we did with the accordion folder. Just gonna get me a good bunch of tape here. Your mileage may vary though with the tape. If you live in a high humidity area, you might opt for using some sort of dry glue like glitter glue. That's a brand. It doesn't have glitter in it, but it's made for sticking glitter down. Or you might use reptile glue, or some sort of a dry adhesive that will bond with your paper so that the humidity doesn't bother it. And then I'm just going to center this where I want it, line it up with my pen and pencil set there, push it down. I'm going to lift it up to the last page, use my flat end of my pokey tool, and just kind of rub that in so it sticks all the way. Give it some pressure. Bingo bango, Bob's your uncle. There you go. Look at that. Look at what we got so far here. Okay? And these file folders actually can roll right up underneath this edge a little bit and they'll stay put. Alright, next thing is our post-it notes. What I'm going to do is go back to my scrap pile. No sense in cutting a whole nother piece of paper. And I have this scrap piece that is just as wide as my little post-it note there. Okay, so let's see how big this post-it note is. We've got, it is 1.5 by 2. So I want my first score mark to be at 1 inch. It is 1/4 of an inch wide. Get our score marks here on our scoreboard. Now, I want the first part to be 1 inch. And then we'll give it 3/8 instead of 1/4. And then we said the whole thing is 1.5 inches. So 3/8 to 7/8 is 1/2 inch, and then 1 inch more. And then another 3/8 for the top fold, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to let it overlap by 1 inch. So we're at 3 1/4. We're going to go to 4 1/4, and we're going to score it right there. And this last one, this last score is a cut. All right. Now, to our cutting board because we need to do some cutting to make this pocket. So we said 1 inch, so we're going to cut this at 1 inch wide. Okay, and that's going to line up right over that perfectly. And then we're going to get our scoreboard back, and we want, and you'll see why in a minute, we're going to go a 1/2 inch, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3/8, which will put us at 7/8, and then 2 7/8, 1, 2, 3, and then a 1/2 inch from where we stopped, which 3 1/4 to 3 3/4, and then this last score is a cut, just like that. This is so simple, and so much fun. Isn't it fun? I hope you've had fun making this planner with me. I'll be making some cards to go in it. There we go. And then I'm going to put some tape. And where I've put the tape on my little flap is in the middle and on the 2 outsides. I've left the sides open from tape. No tape on the sides, on this part right here. Okay? And then we're going to peel our liners. Sticky. Sticks to your fingers. Okay? Since these ends are both the same, we're going to tape that like that. Fold and fold. Fold and fold. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing here. And fold and fold. Lay it down. What I've done is just wrapped that thin piece around there we go. There you go. See how I've wrapped it around here? I'm just not getting in frame. There we go. I've wrapped it around. There's our sides. There's the front, and it's double reinforced. And this, we are just going to trim a little bit off of that. And you'll see why in a minute. Not a whole lot. And we put our post-it note inside. Just like that. Fold it over and tuck it in, just like a little matchbook. In fact, we could even trim those corners a little bit to give it more of a little tab. If you had decorative scissors, you could put a decorative edge on it. You can use a punch. You can use whatever you like. I got that one a little deeper than the other one, so we're going to go back and do the other one. Like that. We're going to stick it, and there is our little post-it note cover. And like we've done everything else, double-sided tape. Three little pieces. check our notebook. We're going to set it right over our big pad. Push it down. And folks, there you have it. We have our chunky notebook. We have our pen and pencil holder, also room for a highlighter. We have our Post-it notes. We have this up. We have our little file folders that coordinate with everything. And then we have our nice accordion file with spots for all sorts of stuff. We've got little tabs. You can use stickers, you can write on them, you can do whatever you like. And there we go. Wasn't that fun? And then when you fold it up, got a nice binder. There's our edge. There it is. Hi, Michelle the Quilter. Good to see you. Thank you. There we go. It is all done. And it's 5 till. I'm not in a hurry to get out of here because I know Pete McDevitt started his show a half hour early. So I'm going to take up to the full hour. Let me go back and show you what we're doing next week. These are 2 pictures that I pulled off of the internet, pulled them off online. This is some Halloween decor. This is from a pretty pricey place. We are going to start with the wreath on the right with the gingham ribbon and the pumpkins and the leaves. And we are going to make that with Dollar Tree items. That wreath sells for $30. We're going to make it for about half that. Also, we're going to make some of the white vases and some painted pumpkins, some decorated little pumpkins. But the main thing I'm excited about is on the picture on the left, they've got some black tall candle holders. We're going to recreate that look. And those, if you've priced them out in the store, they can be kind of expensive. We're going to make them for just a couple dollars. We're going to do all of this with Dollar Tree items. And we're going, by the time Halloween rolls around, we will have our Halloween and our Thanksgiving decor all completed and ready to go. Again, check out Dean at the Live Place. Check out theliveplace.com for all your live streaming needs. Let me get back on my face up here. There we go. Oh, I'm a little low. Let me get down here. Get over here so you can see me. Also, I will see you on Wednesday, 12 noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West Coast, and we'll be doing some music. I'll be doing some music production. I'll be working on a fight song. If you're a follower of this and that, I'm on Shep's team. I am in charge of morale, and I will be composing a fight song for our team to push us over the line and get that win. Thank y'all for being here. Do have a good week. Take care of yourselves. Be creative, and don't worry about making mistakes. They're not mistakes if it's how you meant to do it, right? Peace and blessings upon you, upon all you love, and upon all who love you. Find your passion and stick to it, and don't let anyone talk you out of it. I've enjoyed spending this hour with you. I hope you've enjoyed spending this hour with me. Remember to hit that thumbs up, and if you're watching the replay, give me a comment down below. Let me know you watched. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm out of here. I'm going to watch Pete McDevitt. Y'all have a great day.